American, American, American. American free awakening, coming home back to nature. Find the truth hidden out, family tree you want to. How about you and me, soldier? Spirit don't change, only rearrange. From death to birth, one nature, one earth. We've been found, lost and found in the USA. We're been up and down, but we here to stay. American free awakening. In and down, on and down, in and down. We've been found, lost and found in the USA. We've been up and down, but we here to stay. American free awakening. Back to nature. Ancestral dreams help us survive. Like rivers and streams keep Great Lakes alive. In nature we trust, 'cause nature is us. From death to birth, one nature, one earth. Been found, lost and found in the USA. We've been up and down, but we here to stay. American free awakening. In and down, on and down, in and down. We've been found, lost and found in the USA. We've been up and down, but we here to stay. American free awakening. Here to stay. Back to nature. Time for us to heal. Time for us to rise. Time for us to feel. We're living more than life. Time to face our fear. Time to give up grief. Time to make it clear. I'm a weekend, still here. We've been found, lost and found in the USA. We've been up and down, but we're here to stay. American free awakening. In and down, on and down, in and down. We've been found, lost and found in the USA. We've been up and down, but we're here to stay. American free awakening. Back to nature. American free awakening, coming on back to nature. American free awakening, coming on back to nature. We've been found, lost and found in the USA. We've been up and down, but we're here to stay. American free awakening, coming home back to nature. I'm a American.
Americans awaken. Americans ain't African. Do you know who you are? Good evening and welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't African, the talk show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find his way to America locked in the trunk of a ship. Could you move? Sorry about that. I'm your host, Buck Wylam, and tonight, you heard him last week, he had over 650 hits on YouTube in a week. What the brother was saying was food for thought, and he shared it with us. He's back again tonight. We're going to welcome Brother Adu here tonight, talking about the reverse esoteric psychology, and like you guys know he did last week, he put it down. So we're going to welcome him tonight.
Peace and prosperity, sibling.
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing great, bro. I want to actually say thank you and your people for having me come back. I really appreciate the opportunity that y'all are giving me to share information.
Well, brother, you know what? We're in a knowledge vacuum right now. A lot of the stuff that we hear is meant to confuse us. And this information you bring it can give us hard, cold facts, you know, so we can work our way through this maze that we're going through, and the information that you give helps us greatly in that respect. Before we move on, I want to say hello to my co-host Denisa. Hi, Denise. How you doing?
Hey, how's everybody doing? How you doing, sibling?
Cool.
Peace, sibling.
So you know what? Go ahead, and the people who's listening who didn't hear you last time, go ahead and give a little bit about you, a little bio about you, and to tell us what you got coming for us tonight.
Okay. Tonight we're going to be speaking on the reverse esoteric psychology of sex and soul food. And if you didn't catch the show about reverse esoteric psychology, it's basically taking every single thing that is brought to you that's placed toward you as a good thing, and doing it from the trickster angle. Like, see if there's something that can be possibly in this thing that they're saying is good for you that's actually bad for you. And the reverse of that also is individuals like, say, for example, a prime example is Uncle Tom. You hear a lot of brothers and sisters talk about Uncle Tom was the shit, Uncle Tom was this, Uncle Tom. But let us esoterically look at who Uncle Tom was. Uncle Tom was literally the first black spy. Now listen to me, siblings. Listen to this, because here's where we have the problem with reverse esoteric psychology when we don't use it appropriately. They give us the full story of a character. We've gotten the full story of Uncle Tom. He was a slave Tom was the head nigger for so-called master. And what he did, even though he was the head nigger, he went and secretly taught niggas on the plantation how to read and how to write. And he betrayed master. If it wouldn't have been for individuals like, let's say, Harriet Tubman, using individuals like Uncle Tom to tell her when to run. See, a lot of people don't know that we're cursing a man that betrayed master. You should be cursing Sambo, but that's a whole nother story. But when it comes to Uncle Tom, and we read, everybody can read Uncle Tom's Cabin, and see that this man actually taught niggas how to read and write when it was against the law. And then there was stories about him even having to go so far as to have some slaves arrested because they was about to turn him in for helping niggas on the sly. So when I hear, us cursing even Uncle Tom, I was like, damn, do we really know his fucking history? Most of us don't. We don't know his esoteric history. So I would say that's what reverse esoteric psychology is about. Every single thing that's brought to you that we do, especially shit that we do as a cliche, we got to analyze it and reverse it. Now, if you can tell me, and by all means, anything that I share with you or tonight, my Genie, I call her my Genie, but, you know, my wife, my beautiful Genie, is going to be joining us tonight, and she's going to be sharing her perspective on some things about sisters, because a sister asked a very powerful question on Facebook when she listened to the show, and she wanted us to respond to it. But it's very important for us to understand that if I come out and I say something that you don't agree with, please enlighten me. Like, if you think the shit that I'm talking about, Uncle Tom, go read his fucking story. I didn't took out the time to read the man's story. It's actually fucking amazing that he actually risked his life, because if that white boy would have known what he was doing, you know, for the basic, because a lot of times you hear the Uncle Tom story that's just a story about an old black man kissing white kid's ass. No. You need to read the story and then be careful about who we curse. We could be cursing our first black spy. But there were some things on the last show that I want to address, and I think that it's very important that we address about me being crazy. Let me tell you something. Yes, I am crazy. One brother say, "Nigga, yeah, you crazy, right?" It was pretty good. So I said, yeah, I am crazy. I am a psychopath. I am psychological, which means psycho means soul. We talked about it. Go check it out for yourself. Psychopath means one who followed the path of the soul. Psychological is one who used the logic of the soul. So a lot of times I don't go by my emotions, brothers and sisters, when I have to make a decision about something as paramount as something that's going to be leading my family into like glory. Let me tell you something. All of us, every single last African American, has PTSD. Now listen to me. Johnny Cochran, when we talked about him last, we talked about how he was getting a whole bunch of lawyers together to sue the United States for reparations. But what y'all don't understand is there was prominent African-American doctors, prominent, Yale, Harvard, all of them agreeing that the African-American has suffered PTSD, post-traumatic slave syndrome disorder. So, you know, they tried to change it, but you can still leave it as post-stress stress disorder, PTSD, the same thing the soldiers got. Because let me tell you something that I noticed about our people in particular. Look at the sisters that go over to the wars and how they come back. Isn't it kind of weird that many of them become sexually promiscuous? Ain't it kind of weird how they lose their sense of self, a lot of these sisters that have been over there? And it's because they didn't suffer some horrible shit. So they're looking for emotions. They're looking for a connection with a human being after seeing this raw shit. So peep this now. The brothers that go over there and go into that goddamn war, PTSD, and they come back, all of them are ready to pull the trigger as just as quick as a mother. These are the same things you're seeing in our ghettos. The women in the ghettos got that same 1,000-yard stare. Look, you can go to the local strip club and look in the eyes of the average stripper. These sisters got that 1,000-yard stare like they done been in the fucking war. And they have. But this is a more esoteric psychological war that we're dealing with over here. They're dealing with bombs and shit over there, but they coming back pretty much like motherfuckers are already in the ghettos. Or what about the sisters who don't have a man? And but they good enough to have a man. It's difficult for them to find a man. Some of these women are going crazy and really believing that Jesus is their boyfriend. It's actually sick when you see that shit. Jesus is my boyfriend. Like, really?
Yes.
God damn, this is where we're going? So you got to understand that, like with esoteric psychology, yes, we're all crazy. We all have PTSD, and that's what Cochran and them boys was going to use as their main angle. The African American has suffered post-stress disorder to such a degree, all right, that he deserves payment for the tragedy that he has been suffering, and him and his woman and his children have been suffering, and that was going to be the angle. But let me give you a better angle from the reverse esoteric psychology perspective. for everything, siblings, for everything that they do to us. Let me tell you something about this planet. You reap what you sow. This is a planet of reciprocity, all right, which means what comes around always goes around. So if you give me PTSD, I flip the coin on it esoterically, and PTSD becomes ESP, extrasensory perception. And this is what we have. You know, there was this white guy that came out, and he was complaining. He was like, I'm so angry about how my white people act. He was talking about his own people. He was so angry about how his people act, so confident and so high and mighty. And he said, I see African Americans, these families are living off damn near 1/3 of what our paychecks are. And they've been living like that for centuries. So, yes, it has made us hard. It has made us hardcore. But one of the things we deal with as soldiers, I deal with PTSD. Let me tell you what I deal with. And this is why you need to do the research on PTSD, and you'll start to seeing it everywhere in the African American community. Like, holy shit, PTSD, you have a super sense of awareness. You can sense when a motherfucker is looking at you, and you're right. You're not wrong. PTSD, you can feel when a situation is not right. You have the ability to remove yourself from a situation. They're talking about how PTSD now doesn't have to be viewed as this curse and malfunction, because to tell you the truth, siblings, they gave us medication and they gave us all kinds of shit over there to help us see better at night. They gave us shit to help us see better at night in the fucking desert because it's pitch black out there. They also gave us shit to super enhance our senses, where we are super aware. The only thing is, when you come back stateside and you're not in the war anymore and your life is in no danger, the reason why so many soldiers are going crazy and the reason why so many African Americans are going crazy is we don't know the flip side of that coin, and we don't know what's going on in us. We don't know why we feel like you got motherfuckers, especially in the Nation of Islam, be swearing up and down. The TV is watching them. You ever been around one of them Nation brothers or sisters that they say they swear, or they phone? Why do we believe our phones is being tapped and all this shit? I mean, what is that about? Like, if you're going to say, if you're that motherfucking important, you hear me? Come on. That's PTSD. When we need to change it into extrasensory perception, because it is actually a gift unto you.
So how do we do that? What are some of the things that we do to flip that? And what are some of the things the listeners can start putting out in the community to help turn that PTSD into ESP?
All right, this is how you turn your PTSD into ESP. And siblings, when we share things with you, listen, I want you to take this to heart. And I want you to listen to me because I keep shit real simple. It may take me for fucking ever to get to it, but I keep it simple what I do. And this is what I want to tell you. Cut your goddamn cable off. Do not have cable in your house. You should have nothing but internet, siblings. And I'm going to tell you why. You're going to be like, oh, fuck, you already know. We return you to your regular schedule programming. And that is exactly what they're fucking doing. All of the sports. And the Genie is going to be talking about how do we get our souls back, how do we become pure. One of the first stages of any form of you actually becoming your divine self, where you're completely unprohibited by all of their programs, is to stop taking in their programs. Get rid of cable. All of that shit that you're watching, and you're putting in your subconscious mind over and over again. Pick up a fucking book. Hey, start watching some knowledge videos on YouTube. Whatever the fuck you got to do. You do not have to. You do not need cable. Cable is the worst poison. Let me tell you what I learned. I had cable about 3 years ago. I had went about 10 years without it. And something just, you know how you feel, that somebody came to your door and gave you the excellent deal of the century. Like, nigga, I give you cable for $5. You know, like, okay, fuck it, I'll take it. I'll get cable. It's only $5, right? So we get the cable on, and I'll say, hell no, I don't even want this. So I tell them I keep the internet service and the phone service, but I want the cable off. Now, my bill, mind you, was $79. And I said, I want to take the cable, all of these channels and all that shit. I don't need cable. I only want internet and phone. I thought my bill was going to drop. You know what they told me? They said, if you keep it right where you got it right now, you won't go up. But if you take cable off, your bill is going to go up to $100. It's like, what? Yeah, if you take cable off, it's actually more expensive. It's more expensive if you get rid of the cable. Why is it more expensive that you get rid of the cable? It's because they need you to be programmed.
Yes. Your brother, you absolutely right about that. You absolutely right. I did the same thing here. It was like you say, $3 for phone and internet. I took the phone off, you know, and man, it shot up to $70. I'm like, man, for real?
Yeah.
So those type things are what I'm seeing in our community that we're lacking, where we're not able to produce, you know, things that we need and things that would be beneficial to us. You know, I'm noticing we're not doing that on a large scale. So what I want to do is turning the TV off is one. But any others?
Yes, here's a big one right here. And this is one of the ones that our sisters really need to resonate with. A sister contacted me and said, you know, how dare you speak against how black women wasn't raped on the plantation. Black women was raped. It was a sense of pride, and what it was victimization. She was so hurt that I was taking her victimization because she'd been using that argument for probably centuries that the white man raped us. No, sister, believe it or not, the white man was a homosexual. He wanted your son. Let's take this esoterically the way we really need to view it. If you was cattle and they paid you to fuck another nigga on another plantation just to have a special kind of child, that child would be genetically weak if a white man was to mix your seed. You did not fuck with the black woman on the plantation. And even to this day, the white man got some weird relationship with the black woman where when he becomes homosexual, he imitates her. Why the fuck do gays imitate black women? Not black women. I'm talking about only African-American females.
Now,
they
why
all the
is
way
that?
in China imitating. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Why is that?
Well, why is that? It's because the African-American female don't know how powerful she really is. She's the mother of our planet, just like the African-American male is the father of our planet. And see, when they don't know their power, we go off influencing nations ignorantly, without any consciousness. But here's this thing that I want to share with you. That's why you see, no matter what country you go to, why a fag got to act like an African American? Because everybody worships you, beautiful queen, beautiful sister. I love calling the African American female genies because they're the only ones that can really answer your wishes. But with the other one that I want to share with you concerning what is really holding us back, let's talk about slavery. Now, this is going to hurt some of your feelings, but let's talk about it. All right, when the Europeans came over here, siblings, let me tell you how they got power over us. They killed our fucking buffaloes. They could not enslave, wrap us all up. No. Let me tell you what they did. They killed off of our food source, and we actually came to them just like Mexicans do today, and we worked on their plantations for food. We went back to our house. I tell you what you do. Talk to your grandmother. If those of you have great-grandmothers, ask them what do they remember. All of them are going to say the same thing. I remember walking from my home to the plantation and going back home. Nobody lived on the fucking plantation who are of. Let me tell you where the slavery thing and the whipping and the beating and all of that shit come from. Because we had gotten so weak when they hit us with the blankets. We got plagued. They was hitting us in every other direction besides really fighting with us. They wasn't fighting with us. siblings, when I say we are nice fucking people, we just gave in and we got food rations, just like we got food rations a day. Some of us got our rations in corn, like a man would have to go work at a plantation to bring food home for his children and his wife and his children. So the way they got it made up that you was in that slavery, look at the trickery of how it really fucks with your mind when you actually think that somebody stripped your woman, raped her, fucked her right in front of you, and then made you. We didn't go through that. Let me tell you who went through that. They are called the Gullah. They came from Sierra Leone and other areas like that. Ghana, Sierra Leone, there was a mixture of individuals, but they're called the Gullah. And let me tell you something about slavery, and listen to me very carefully. The depiction that they give us of slavery today, they're whipping what's your name, boy, Toby, whipping his ass until he say motherfucking Toby. All of that shit is Gullah history. Slavery existed, so-called slavery, but it was indentured servitude where we was walking to the plantation and walking home. We had a barter system between ourselves where we were trading way before what they call slavery in South and North Carolina. Now, this is when slavery had to stop, siblings. Listen to this, because the white boy had lost it for a minute. And see, what happened was, in the North, why do you think all them niggas was already indentured servants? No, that shit didn't. All of this crazy slavery shit didn't happen to the Gullah, came to North and South Carolina, and then the white boys called them the what? The good niggas. Then they started talking about how I don't want them niggas mixing with my good niggas. See, I got good niggas over here that do whatever I say and do it. That's what the Gullah was. They were from Africa, from Sierra Leone. But, boy, did they get their ass whooped on that motherfucking island of Jamaica and Bahamas and all of them islands where they was breaking them down because the white man wanted a perfect slave. He didn't have us the way you think slavery was, all right? He had the Gullah like that. When you see motherfuckers getting whipped and beaten, and all those were African. When you see motherfuckers on the block, they keep showing this picture of this one so-called African-American female. Her ass is humongous, and she has not a drop of hair on her head, and she had little beads looking straight like out of Africa. And they say this is a perfect description of who this woman was, and she was sold on the chopping block, and, they talking about how fine her ass was. I was like, man, we some sick motherfuckers. But here's the point. That's Gullah history. And
what are some of the ways? Could you tell us? We're trying to get this reverse psychology down. So you told us one thing to cut off the TV.
Okay.
In reversing this post-traumatic stress syndrome, in reversing it, turning it to ESP. I want to focus on that.
Well, it's very difficult to come out of that when you believe that you were a slave, brother. In other words, that's just like men somehow strangely believing that they were gay at one time and it's okay to be homeless. Or they believe when you hear a man say he getting in touch with his feminine side and shit like that. When you hear brothers talk like that, see, we got pre-existing programs that prevents us from coming out of PTSD because a person who believes that kind of abuse took place and happened to them, they're going to be victimization locked. They're going to be locked in the consciousness of victimization. So, okay, I'll tell you another one. Outside of, you got to let go of the program of slavery because most of the history that you know of as slavery, the whipping, the beating, the molestation, the raping, that is not your history. That is Gullah history.
Hey, homie. Hello?
Yes.
Chief, this is Chief Nuco Blackhawk. They had a rule that, niggas couldn't marry Europeans. There was actually laws that banned Europeans and niggas from marrying each other in the South, so the South was segregated. You hear me?
I'm saying, I could barely hear him a little bit, but he had an echo to him.
They had laws.
Brother, you coming in kind of dense. We can barely hear you.
Yeah, do you hear me? You hear me close? You hear me now?
Yes.
It's Chief Nuco Blackhawk. Yeah, they had laws. It was illegal for a nigga to marry a European in the South. They had laws. That was illegal.
Yes.
Yes, which is to say that there was some sense of freedom even in the South, unlike they've told us about slavery. So when you get back to the PTSD and reversing the PTSD and turning it into extrasensory perceptions, you got to give your senses a break. One of the things you got to do is you got to turn off their cables. Here's another thing. You got to stay out of their fast food restaurants. You cannot be in, these are just two, all right? Stay out of fast food restaurants because they put certain chemicals in the food as preservatives, all right? So that means the chemicals that they're using as preservatives is actually going to outlast any nutrients that you receive from it, and you're going to get more of those chemicals that actually sedates your amygdala, which takes away your senses to gain. You become docile. So we are being infected internally from the gut, and we're being infected externally through programming, especially at Black History Month. Black History Month is the worst thing ever that happens for African Americans, and we're so proud of it. It's almost like you got a mother or a father that loves you and has done the greatest thing raising you and taking care of you, and you only call once a fucking year because it's Mother or Father's Day. That's the kind of shit that we treat our ancestry like. We only got to deal with our ancestry one, and then all of that is made up ancestry, all of it.
Area code 605-562-3140. African American Ain't African Radio. We on learning about reverse esoteric science. Get rid of the cable. I mean, for real. Get rid of it. The fast food, just getting rid of those two alone would cause wonders for the community. Does anybody have a question? Does anybody have? Yes, ma'am.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to the call? This is Niecy.
Yes, ma'am.
Peace, sister. Go ahead.
Okay. Sibling, I wanted you to go over something that you were talking about on our last episode and segment, and it was so crucial because we see the void, and this, we're only building moats, we're not building bridges between the so-called black man and black woman, and I really, really wanted you to delve into that, about this anger, where it's coming from, why the gulf is so wide, and it seems like it's almost irrevocable. So we really got to do something about that because without the unit, there is no us.
You're right. Well, that's interesting, and that kind of ties into another question about how can you tell who is your people and who ain't your people? Because there is, and it was humbling to hear that because there is a major issue that's going on between the African American male and female that we keep mating with the wrong individuals. And they actually sell and promote these individuals for us not to be pulled toward or attracted to. So, like, there could be beautiful women that we thought is visually beautiful on the television set, but, we're being programmed to go toward these individuals that are actually chaotic and terrible for us. So I want to share one of the things that I found that is this is something that you can look out for. And this comes with a warning, siblings. The stuff that I'm sharing right now, in particular, about characteristics of clone characteristics and Moorish characteristics and how you can see these in your mate. We must understand that we've been mixed in a little bit, so if you hear something that this person might have, do not take it, it's a fucking clone. No, just because you're having problems. No, don't take it that way. I'm just sharing information, and it's something that you can work through because, hey, we all have been here for quite some time, but here it is. With that being said, one of the things the gods did when they made the clones was they made the clones have smaller amygdalas. And what happens is when you create and you shave off that part of the back of the skull, there's a flatness to the back of the skull instead of what is called a primordial knot. the primordial knot is more persistent with African Americans. You can even look up primordial knots, and they'll tell you about it. It's a distinct characteristic, specifically amongst African Americans, and it's actually a primordial, which is before the gods, before death. Before we started dying off, when we were living for longer periods of time, before the gods come here, we wasn't dying like that. That's why we are called primordial, but a primordial knot at the back of the head. If you check the back of the head, and they call it flat head syndrome. They've also known that most criminals, people who are disconnected, and people who are egopaths, who are just terrible people, the back of their head is flat. So that's one of the things that, you know, that when you're doing, it's called phrenology. If you look up phrenology, you will see that phrenology is an art of reading the body. And right now we got to start reading our bodies and communicating and having a harmony. So when you got a gap as big as the gap that the African-American male and the African-American female have, the only thing that you can do, and this is what we're going to get into, is live a natural life. In other words, we're living unnatural. And we're going to talk about, I'm going to bring the Genie in right now because I think this is a great segue. First of all, before a sister can get a man, some of the things that she got to go through and go, you know, some things she got to experience before she's ready to receive, and the same thing for the brothers. But, Genie, would you like to come in?
Peace and prosperity, everyone.
Hey, Genie, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Yes, thank you for coming on, sharing with us. I really appreciate it.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
Hello? Yeah, this is Ron Nuko Blackhawk. Okay, so are you saying that a lot of these cats, some of these cats are Moors?
Yeah, I'm saying that some of these cats are straight up African and clone bloodlines, and that's
so
just
how can we tell the difference between a Moor and an American?
Well, the thing is, and this is what we talked about the last time, because, okay, here's another trait. You want another trait? Here's another trait. The Moors got their genetics from also mixing with the Aryans. The Aryans at one time were almost 7 feet tall. They were very tall people. And so when the Moors mixed with them, who were very short people at one time, the Moors came out to be 6 and damn near 6'5". So a lot of brothers who are in the basketball and in the military and certain job lines, they don't give you certain jobs unless you got a certain height. This is why you got brothers standing up there like cattle weighing in, and they're measuring your height. They know your genetics by your height. Now, I'm not saying that an American can't be tall. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying that trait of tallness is an Aryan trait. That's like one of the traits.
Okay, so could I ask you another question?
Yes, sir.
So are the Moors the white man's watchdog?
Well, you know what? You know who the white man's watchdog is? We are, because unfortunately we're over here in this country, and we are indirectly, he taught us to protect him. Can't nobody touch him because can't nobody touch us. Now, you hear niggas all the time talk about, I can't wait to see the tanks rolling down the streets and niggas blow. Let me tell y'all something. When I was in Desert Storm, I don't ever want to fucking see what I seen over there down anybody's street that I love. You tell me, I'm talking about Burger King, McDonald's blowing the fucking bitch. Goddamn, you want to cheer about that. But when you see that shit happening and you see little kids crying and screaming and running, you can't help them? Or you got to shoot at them? Are you fucking kidding? All of you, I'm not talking to you in particular, brother, but I'm saying all of these brothers who talking about banging on the beast, it's about some of the stupidest shit in the world, and we're so fucking disorganized. We'll go out there and tell you don't let motherfuckers know on Facebook you got a gun.
Hey, hold up. You said the guys are talking about banging on the beast?
I'm talking about anybody who's constantly talking about banging on the beast.
That's all. They talking a bunch of bullshit. When he said sit down, he get his ass down. He listened to his master. So that's a bunch of bullshit. That's just a bunch of nigger talk. Okay?
Oh yeah. Well, but you know what? The youth is falling for that right now, and we're losing a lot of our youth to that to that angle right now. So it's a bunch of confusion. But what I wanted to do is, before I go too far, Sister Nisi had asked a question.
Hey, brother, I got one more question. Hold on, bro. I'm going to let the Genie come in, and then what I'll do is, after I let the Genie comes in and say what she got, she want to answer Nisi's question, and then you can come back. Please, just if you don't mind holding on. Thank you, brother. It's a really good question.
Dude, let the Genie speak. Genie, please go ahead and let. Sorry,
Yes,
Genie.
It's okay. The question that the sister asked, I think, is so important because I feel like the gap that has been placed between the Amarucan male and female, it was a strategy that was done on purpose. It's part of war, and you can you have evidence of that when you read the Jim Crow laws. He purposely put out there that if you want to bring down the Amarucan race, first go after the female, because she's the one who is the nurturer. She's the one who is the healer. And so if you go after her, she's not going to rejuvenate, heal her family, and so the whole structure is going to fall apart. She's the one that held it all together. We're the glue. And so they went directly after us. And so there's so many things that they went after us with, like they have just completely taken away our culture. When they came here, that was the first thing they do. They took our culture. They told the women, oh, you are using these herbs to heal your family, so now you're a witch and we're going to kill you and burn you. And then they put these pictures up of white women being the ones that they burnt because they wanted us to think that it was white women who had this knowledge and they were the ones who could heal and, oh, they were so powerful. But when they came here, they had no knowledge of the herbs that were here. We did. The herbs that grow here did not grow in Europe. So they just didn't have the knowledge. And so that was one way that they created this gap. Another way was to take our land and make our men have to go and work for them for pennies when before our men would grow, we had our farms, we had our cattle, we had everything, and they took it from us and then made our men look like they can't provide for us anymore. So women were like, oh, now what do we do? Then they started depending on the white men. And so to this day, women are like, oh, thinking white men are more superior than our men, and the gap just continued to grow. And then they came up with the schools, and now our children are not being taught by us. So now our children are looking at both the mother and the father like, you can't even teach me anymore. So all of these things came and the gap between the man, the woman, and the children is so wide now, it's sad.
So what do we do to change it, Genie?
I feel we have to get back to our original way of living. Getting rid of the cable, I really have to say that is a major one, because when I was doing some study on psychology, I was reading, some of the questions that you have to put on your intake form when you have a new patient come in. And some of the questions were, has this person ever seen a dead body? Has this person ever seen a rape? Has this person ever seen violent crime? We see that all day, every time we turn on the TV.
Yes, with our people doing it.
Yeah, so that is increasing the PTSD in everyone. Everyone who sees these images, just because it's on TV, it does not stop the effect of the mental destruction.
Just like the picture of the guy, the black guy hanging. How often have we seen pictures of this Gullah? He was Gullah, this African hanging, but we assume that it does matter to a certain degree if it was our people or not, because you got to understand that somebody is actually using other people to use scare tactics to keep you in balance.
Well, isn't that kind of what's happening now with all the movies that are being made now, that African-American actors, now foreigners, are playing those parts?
Wow.
So it's kind of
using slaves.
Trading in the slave. The guy who directed it was a British dude. So this is what I mean. Foreigners are telling us who we are, and we just go for it every time. But Genie, what I wanted to ask you, what are some of the ways, or what are the things that we can start saying to each other to flip this trend around? Because it's like you said when you came on, if we don't reverse this shit, we done.
Yeah, it's so true. And just like my Jen was saying, there are certain things like that we have to stop doing, like, the programming through the TV, the fast food, because we don't know what they're putting in that food. I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube, and they're talking about the aborted fetuses that they're putting in food, the arsenic that they're putting in food, and the effect that all of this is having on our brains, on our health, especially our health, because it's making us run to these doctors who are giving us prescriptions that are making our situation worse.
And I'd like to say also, when it comes to one of the things of getting back to a situation, sisters, it's very important that you understand that when a brother is lost, it is important that you have some sense of awareness how to help him find himself. And usually you do that by how you carry yourself. In other words, if Sister Soldier said, who buys the cow when you can get all the milk for free? You make yourself more valuable by how you carry yourself. There was this one brother. See, I open the door for my Genie. Wherever we go, I open the door for her to get in the vehicle and to get out of the vehicle. And I do things like that to to show her ultimate respect. So there was this one brother. We went to go over their house and kick it and play cards and shit, right? So when we left, I think we was going to the movies, and his wife said, why don't you do that for me? And he went over and he tried to open the door for her, and she's like, no, I don't want it now because you're just doing it just because he's doing it.
Yeah.
And see, what happens is when your man sees better behavior, or your man sees or hears from you that you need to do this or you need to do that, and not you need to from a disrespectful standpoint, but if our women are not treated like goddesses, we will never be gods. This is the biggest thing that we got to understand as the indigenous people of this land. If our women are not treated like goddesses, we will not be gods. You got the average brother nowadays, the only thing he cares about is knocking boots. And then now some brothers ain't caring about that. You know what I'm saying? They're going in a whole nother direction with that shit where they talking about bisexual men ain't gay. Shit. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something real quick about another thing that they're messing up, and this is some really bad fuckery that they did when the Genie was talking about the medications that they send you with. Let me tell y'all about birth control. A sibling asked me a while ago about, did you hear about the gay bomb? The gay bomb is this humongous bomb of colorless, odorless gas that they was going to drop in African-American, concentrated urban African-American neighborhoods, and they was going to do it. Well, guess what, siblings? They didn't even have to drop the bomb. You know what they did? Was they increased and they lowered the price of what? Birth control. What? What does birth control have to do with a gay bomb? Well, let me tell you, every time you get with a woman, brothers, and she's on birth control, and you are having oral sex where you're going down there and you pleasing her, did you know you're licking up birth control? And this is where a lot of African-American men are getting throat cancer from right now. They're getting throat cancer because they're getting straight up birth control. That's exactly the part of the body that the birth control goes through and actually expels. So her womb is being so ruptured by this chemical, it spits it out. It's all in her secretions. So when you're down there pleasing her, you're getting a healthy dose of not only throat cancer, but guess what? You're getting something that literally stops you from producing testosterone. And they did a survey trying to figure out why was there so much homosexuality near strip club cities. Now listen to how deep this shit is. Because right now, the number one places for homosexual African-American males is two places, Atlanta and Texas. Listen to this shit, how deep it gets. The number one AIDS, Atlanta and Texas. The number one homosexual, Atlanta and Texas. Now listen to the last one. the #1 places for strip clubs, Atlanta and Texas. I worked the door as a bouncer at the strip club in Georgia. I used to see niggas come in and lick a broad down. Lick a broad down. So you got to realize this woman that sold some pussy, and this man that left his seed in this woman, and now this dude come in the strip club all drunk, and now he licking up some other dude's semen. And I know it sounds disgusting, siblings, but then these men go back home to their wives.
Very disgusting. What?
They go back home to their wives. Yes, it is disgusting, brother. It's disgusting.
Wow.
They go back home to their wives, and you know, it's like, I mean, let's talk. We're finna get into the grown-up part, so if you got any kids, you might want to go ahead and get them off the phone. you got time to get the children off the phone. They shouldn't really be listening to this. All right, so this is one of the things. So now this man that went out and he kicked it with his homies, and he'd have been at the strip club. Did you know that the condom, siblings, the condom was not designed to protect you from AIDS or any disease whatsoever? That's why people are still getting diseases with condom. The condom is meant only to prevent pregnancy. You know, the size of an AIDS virus and the size of many viruses is like, you know, the size of the pores in the condom is like shooting a dime through a basketball hoop. That's how large it is. That's how easy it is to get to. That's why people are still getting burnt and all kinds of shit. Plus, you got to understand this. Every time a woman allows a man to put a condom in her vagina, there's chemicals that's being released in the walls on the walls of her vagina called latex and all kinds of shit that's literally killing her womb. So now we got an excess amount of sisters whose uterus are collapsing, and they're getting fibromyalgia, and they're getting fibroids, and they're getting cysts, and carrying on. And then you want to hear, let's really talk. Oh, you really want to get grown up? This is what happens to our people. Then the man is having anal sex with her. He take his penis out of her behind full of feces. Come on, you know science. What's going to happen when you put all of this feces in her womb? Everything you give her, now you wonder why she got a shitty attitude. Oh, sorry for the joke, okay. But, but the point I'm trying to make is this shit goes round and round and round. We got to be careful what we're doing to each other. It could be simply our sexual habits. And this is why we got to talk about sex and soul food tonight. Because we got sexual habits that are inappropriate. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Finish.
Yes. But these, you know, to help you understand, sister, when there's men, and they keep showing these men on the movies, remember the 100 Monkey Theory, there was Monique, the comedian. She talked about how she gave her husband a piece of ass on his birthday. Can you understand the psychological fuckery that they're putting on us when they got our men happy to get a piece of ass on a birthday? You know how sick that sounds? But guess what? Show that shit 100 times. Now you got brothers out here in their rap songs. I tore that ass up. See, we don't understand. We don't understand what's really being said in our subconscious mind. Yes. So this woman, once again, most of the division that we're having as couples is a hidden division. We're living a life that we don't understand, that the things that we're doing are causing us to shift, and it is causing us to also be retarded. We're being retarded by our own actions. We can be free tonight. I'm going to tell you this right now. We can be free tonight. Just like the Genie said, we stop the cable, stop the fast foods. You know, stop living the way they want you to. Here's another one. At the beginning of this show, we played another song, instrumental by Beats Antique. You know, what you start doing is stop listening to anything that have words in it. Start listening to instrumental music. I don't care if it is jazz. Jazz is kind of iffy because you connect to some old frequencies that ain't too good back in the days with a lot of drugs and all kinds of shit. But, you know, and a lot of homosexuality in jazz, unfortunately. Let's be real. See, we don't like talking about shit like this, but we got to be honest about why.
Since we don't like talking about it, doesn't that just since we don't like talking about it, doesn't that just make it worse? Because now nobody knows, it's under the rug, and it just keeps on piling on and keep on happening generation after generation. Since we don't like to talk about it, since we don't like to talk about nothing. If we make a mistake, it's like you say, if you make a mistake, I should be able to say, no, brother, that's irrelevant. But we don't even we don't do that. So when we don't do it, or we don't want to talk about anything, or we don't want to share anything, the bullshit just keeps on rolling down the hill. And that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and it's rolling out of control. But the question that the sister asked about relationship, now we're going to move this to even, you think that's uncomfortable. We're going to get even more uncomfortable, because what we got to talk about now is we got to talk about the patriarch and the matriarch.
Before we get into patriarch and matriarch, Denise had a question.
Yes, by all means.
Hey, Sibling and Genie. Okay,
yes,
I'm just listening intently to you all, and so glad to have you. I made some notes from our last segment, and, we're going to keep this rolling because it's important, and it's light. It's light for us, and it's sustenance. So I remember last time you went in depth some when we talked, before the show, and I took a few notes. You said something that really, really resonated and stuck in my head about the fact that any female species becomes aggressive when the male becomes emasculated. Now, what I see is that I understood exactly what you were saying, and it's tough to even, have to divulge that as truth, because it is. But what I see is the men are so angry, then the women feel like the projection is being put on them, and it's just this constant yin and yang back and forth, and it creates such vitriol with all the anger and hostility. Then enter more verbiage where men are wanting to take, and not every strong black woman, so-called black woman, is a feminist, but if she has some strength because she has to be strong, she's a feminist and she's a this and that, and it just goes on and on, and it is horrendous. It's just to the point that it's climatical, and we really need to talk about that, because you can barely engage in a conversation or discussion about anything before the next thing you know, it's delved into that.
Wow. Well, just like this tasteful joke I made about how sisters are having shitty attitudes because of the behavior of black men, even though it's a distasteful joke, it's serious. The women, let me tell you how powerful y'all are, and I'm sure you already know, sister. Whatever you give a woman, she will turn it in and she will multiply it. Period, hands down. So you give her food, she'll give you a meal. You give her semen in her womb, she'll give you an actual child. That's how powerful the woman is. So if you give her disgustingness, if you give her, you mad at her because you're jealous of her, because this is what a lot of these effeminate dudes are doing. Put it like this. This is a red sign right here. If you go and you meet a dude and he got more than fucking 10 pair of shoes, he might be effeminate. Shit like that. When you see these things where he got more jewelry than you, when you see these things where he's comfortable allowing you to pay for his meal, you know what I mean? Now, it ain't nothing wrong when you're hanging out with friends and the brother, hey, the sisters pay, that's cool. But when you're dealing with men who want to be with you, and they are truly masculine men, you will never have to pay for your meals. You'll never have to do this. And this is another of the things that we was talking about, how you must learn to cleanse your frequency. So this is what I would suggest for the sisters and for the brothers, but specifically talking to the sisters. Give yourself 28 days. Give yourself a 28-day cycle where you do what? You don't touch no man at all. You hear me? Unless you're married. The only man that you're allowed to touch is not your boyfriend, Not your friend at work. No. The only man you're allowed to touch is your husband. A man who claims you. You know his family to claim you. Y'all are not sneaking behind closed doors, because what you need is, in order for a sister to cleanse herself and get prepared for Mr. Right to come out of her life, because there's Mr. Right out there and there's Mrs. Right out there. But we keep, a lot of us keep missing each other, and we getting caught up in situations because we don't have our frequency right. So one of the things that a sister can do is abstain for 28 days. I suggest do it from the new moon. Get in harmony with the moon. Did you know that every woman, there's not one woman whose menstrual cycle is not controlled by the moon? So that's something that you should be in tune with, the cycles of the moon.
It is important that women get their feminine. We got to start with getting our femininity back, because that's the one thing that's causing the most problems. Like, in a family, there's only one chief to every tribe. And when a woman and a man are like bickering back and forth, they're both trying to be the chief or the head of the household or the one who wears the pants. That's where the problem begins. So when we get back into our femininity and we get back into our role, then he can be in his role and the whole family runs smoother. There's just certain things that, we need to start doing as women to bring our men back home and back to their loving positions, and we get back in ours so we can raise our children right. Getting out of being masculine, like you said, for women, it would be very important for women to stop shaking hands with men, because we are big-time psychic sponges. And with shaking hands, it's like we have chakras that are in our hands, and we all have auras. And when you are close enough to a person to shake their hand, and you're like putting your chakra on their chakra, you're exchanging energy. And when women are constantly absorbing masculine energy, you can't help it. You just start acting masculine because you've absorbed so much of it through listening to like rap music. Other ways.
Yep.
Rap music, like I said, touching men, hugging men. We need a break. We need to get back into our femininity. A good thing, like you said, going by the moon, the cycles of the moon, from full moon to new moon is a time to get rid of energy. So if you want to get rid of masculine energy, that's the time to work on it. Like starting at the full moon, there's a full moon coming on the 10th. So it's a time to say, okay, I'm not going to be absorbing any more masculine energy. I'm going to shut off like I said, the rap music that I've been listening to, and don't be out there like, even
wear dresses more. Wear
dresses. Like when women go to work, and sometimes, you've been around these people so long, you joke, and some people, they have work flirting that they do. Cut all that energy. Don't absorb this masculine energy. It's time to be more feminine. And then, like I said, from the new moon to the full moon is a time where you want to increase energy. So that is a time where, hey, you might want to start belly dancing and doing things like that. So if you put your mind in the right perspective of what you're doing at the right time, you say, okay, from full moon to new moon, I'm getting rid of this energy, and then from new moon to full moon, I'm increasing this energy. You'll have the universe working with you, so it'll be a little easier.
And I can tell you
that doesn't work. Now that doesn't work the same for men, does it?
No, the men, the situation with men, let me tell y'all something, and this is so deep. One of the things that we have to get on is, and we don't like doing it, but we got to start hitting them weights. Because back in the days when we would build our own house, we were carrying stuff that was heavy enough to give us the dominance and the testosterone and the chemical in the brain that we need to produce testosterone. To be quite honest with you, many of our jobs and many of our situations are keeping us straight up lame. If we don't do nothing but sit at a fucking desk all day, or let's say you work at Longshoreman, but all you do is drive a forklift all day. See, the thing that you got to do is you got to break away from that and hit them weights. Care about how much you benching. I'm happy that I can bench 350 pounds. That's a good thing for me. It might not be much to other people, but hey, at least I got a number and I know my strength. Most of us as brothers over here, especially African Americans, because of the images, they put old skinny-ass crackhead Snoop Dogg in front of us, and people like this who are wholly unhealthy. The only healthy one they put in front of us is goddamn 50 Cent, and he's taking pictures like he's, like a sissy or something. So when we finally do get the right images, we go for the wrong reasons. So what we got to do is we got to focus on health. You want to say something, Genie?
Yeah, I think he was asking about the moon. Does the moon affect men the same way?
No, I was just.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was asking that. What effect does the moon have on males, if any?
The moon has an effect on everything on the planet. Just like at full moon, they'll tell you there's more crimes that take place. There's more people in the hospital. Cops are out more because the moon affects everyone. It affects women more, but it does affect everyone. If you want to lose weight, the time to lose weight is between full moon and new moon for everyone on the planet.
Great. Somebody else had a question?
Yo, sibling. Hello? You hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is Black Hawk. Okay. This is my last question, and, my eyes is wide open. I'm very serious when I ask you. I'm very serious. How do I distinguish the difference between an American female and a Moorish female?
Okay, and once again, unfortunately, because let me tell you, this is me and one of the brothers talking about how what they was calling big back syndrome, where sisters are getting shoulders like linebackers, and their physique is changing. Some of these are our sisters, but they've had children from the wrong kind of men. And back in the day, grandmama say you made it with the right man if you ain't got stretch marks from him. They say when the baby's too big, because Moors were bigger, and some of their genetics were different than ours, it would cause our women to have stretch marks on the belly. Not to say that if a woman has stretch marks, she's had the wrong. But I'm saying right now we are so genetically mixed, bro. The only thing you can do is tell what kind of tree it is by the fruit that it bears. So in other words, here's an example. If you know the history of Egypt, all right, and you got these brothers over here talking about their long descendantries of pharaohs. Let me tell you something, siblings. Pharaohs used to be buried with fucking slaves. What kind of sick motherfucker you must be genetically to want somebody buried with you and you to actually promote this ideology and this thought process? But you got a lot of niggas that's doing it. You got a lot of niggas that's saying that they're Hebrew Israelites and it was okay to enslave certain kinds of people because God told them to do it. If you go to the Bible and Deuteronomy and the shit that their God was telling them to do, that's that clone shit. When you talk to the Moors, the same goddamn thing. See, you can look at the behavior of some of these people who look like us, but truly they're not us. Just look at their behavior. Look at their pride. Do they have most of our sisters and our brothers really do have loving spirits. And we tend to be very nice and naive. But the problem is we're starting to wake up now, and we're starting to come out of that. So it's like, okay, women with very flat buttocks. All right? Now this is, you want to talk about some primordial traits. A primordial trait is the original hourglass shape of a woman. So a lot of these women, you have baby with the wrong man, he will fuck your body up. And this is where a lot of sisters get big bone and be like, wait a minute, I wasn't like this before I got pregnant. It could have been the very man that impregnated you that changed your DNA, because every time a baby comes through your system, your genetics change to fit his. And he may have gave you junk DNA. So if a sister have junk DNA from a man that she had a baby by that wasn't good, you dig what I'm saying? And what happens is it's hard to judge her or what she is, because she might look like a Moor or he might look like a Moor. If his mother, I'm sorry, go ahead.
How does she find the right mate or someone of her of her bloodline?
Well, just like the Genie was saying, there need to be a period where she take in no masculine energy, and there needs to be a period where she exercise and she takes care of her body, just like I was serious about us men. If we want to keep up with our levels of testosterone, there's only two ways to do it. It's to hit the weights or to have a monogamous relationship, which is the next stage that I want to talk about. why are African American men so-called hoish, and why are African American females so-called girlish, where they hang out with the girls all the time. Like, they're the only females that hang out like that tight in a pack all over the place, and I'm going to tell you why. See, what we're dealing with is we're dealing with the patriarch and the matriarch. We are patriarchal males, but what they didn't tell you is a patriarch multiplied by a matriarch equals a monarch. They've been forcing the patriarchs to fight. You hear a lot of brothers even saying, "I'm so damn tired of this patriarchal system, disrespecting the black woman as God and all of this shit." It's so fucking ridiculous. And then I hear brothers say the matriarch ain't shit, blah, blah, blah. So all they've done is plotted us against each other. The matriarch and the patriarch is both needed in order to create a monarch. You must have a male who knows his place and wishes to build a dynasty. And let me tell you what he must have. And I'm going to tell you what the woman must have. One of the biggest problems that the African-American female is having right now is she don't have a sense of what a matriarch actually is. And I'm not talking about polygamy, siblings. I'm not talking about polygamy. Because what polygamy does is, now we already know, and I know y'all heard this story, there's more men, there's more women than it is men. And I even heard on somebody else's show, I think Nikki Love was teaching them sisters that it's okay. Now Nikki Love is from Africa. Her bloodline from Africa, siblings, and she boldly spit Africa in our face all the time. But here it is, she promoting our young African-American females who listen to her. She promoting them to have more than one man. Are you fucking kidding me? At 70-something% right now unmarried, the African-American female ain't got time for that shit. But we also ain't got time for polygamy. And let me explain the difference between polygamy and trinogamy. Now, here's another one of these uncomfortable situations, because our sexual habits dictate what kind of people we become, period. Now, the black woman, what do you see in the average everyday relationship? She gets a man, she's happy with that man, her and that man is together, and 90% of the time, so I'm told by so many women, this man cheats on her. This man ends up sleeping with everybody from the mama to the cousin, even the sister. Anybody who hangs around her on a regular basis ends up sleeping with the man. You know why? Because they are in a mock monarch relationship. They are in a mock monarch relationship. So what happens is the woman is constantly seeking the monarch. She's constantly seeking a matriarch. She's constantly seeking to hang out with her sister. But see, right now, the white man knows that through programming, he's going to corrupt that. And so what he tells you, not only do she not need a man, but when she do have a man, I ain't going to share my man like a man is a fucking piece of property. I ain't going to share my man. Let me tell you something about genetics. And this is something that we ain't got to debate about. You can go check it out yourself. A man is multiplied by the women that he has in his life appropriately. I'll say it again. A man is multiplied by the women that he has in his life. Why do you think the white man call it bigger me? He's afraid of you being bigger than him. So they pass laws saying that you can't have two wives. And they talk about this as if though she's the property. No, this is something that the sister needs. If you got a situation, here's the problem. You got a situation and you call yourself hating black women and you're a black woman, you're an African-American female, and I hear sisters say this, I can't stand bitches. I don't hang around them motherfuckers. All they do is fuck your man. Blah, 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 blah. See, this is a plague. What's to happen is you don't understand that the female needs to be around other female energy. If she don't end up being, because she's receptive now, if she's not around other female energy, she automatically begins to calcify in her character. She becomes hard.
That's part of what I was talking about, how women are so receptive. If we're only around our husbands, we're like a reflection. We reflect whoever we're around. So if we're around a man, a lot of times we're going to act like a man. But if we have women that we're around, we get our femininity, like, kind of recycled back to us. So it's like, that's another thing that's making the gap between husbands and wives so big, is because we're acting like our husbands, and our husbands are not gay, so they're not finding us attractive because we're acting like them.
Wow. And I've seen this, too, where sisters would be sitting on the damn couch hollering at the damn football game more than the husband, and the husband looking over there at her like, what the fuck? Yes.
Yes.
Area code 605-562-3140, African American Ain't African Radio. We're here with Sibling and his lovely Genie, and we're talking about male and female relationships. Talk about how food plays a big part in what we do, what we eat, how all that is done, the food that we intake.
Okay. Ooh, now the food. Okay, here we go again. So, who told you that the pig is bad? Ooh, this is about to be one of them conversations, siblings. I'll tell you right now, it's about to be one of them conversations. But this is what I want. Okay, so this is what you do, right? And whatever we're talking about, let's just take it from the real. When we go back at least 4 generations, what do we see? The farther we go back, the longer we were living. And one of the things that was documented in our diet was the fact that we had pork in our diet. But you got to hear why we had pork in our diet on the plantation. And let me tell you why pork was one of the most important parts of our diet for a very long time, and why it was snatched from you. Well, if you know anything about the sow, or you know anything about the pig, you'll know. I learned being raised on a farm, parts of my raising being on a farm, that you can't poison the pig. Woo! I say it again. You can't poison a pig. A pig can eat damn near anything. They talk about how he'll eat trash, he'll eat this, and you can't kill him. He can eat Ajax. This motherfucker will not die. Well, guess what? It is called what is it? Interchangeable diet. Where pretty much what happens is what you eat, you become. Listen, you was cattle at one time to somebody. Even let's say we take the Gullah history, all right? Because our people did work on the plantation for food, and the food that they did give us was pigs, collard greens, black-eyed peas. I seen a big old list of and we used every part of the pig of what we used to eat. But check this shit out. The white man wasn't stupid back then. If I pay you to work for me, I want you to be strong. I already think you stupid. You're not fighting me. You're not doing nothing. All you're doing is humbly coming up and working for me. I want you to work for a long time. So this is why you had so-called some slaves that was passed down. I'm saying the slave was with the great-granddaddy. Got passed down to the granddaddy. Slaves were passed down fucking at least 4 generations in a white household. And there's stories of these slaves living damn near 200 years. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because all of the chemicals and all of the shit that they had us doing, siblings, we was consuming the goddamn pig, an animal that you can't poison. Now listen to this, because the ride is about to get crazy. Because remember, we used to use lard. Our grandmother used to have this big old tub of lard. They used to also give us a block of lard, pig fat, to cook our food in. Let me tell you something. Go back to that plantation and you see who was on the plantation who worked. Huh? Look at the people who pick corn and pick the peas and did everything on the plantation. Look at them. They was in the greatest shape. You know the only one that was out of shape on the plantation, siblings? It was that black woman that worked in the kitchen and ate what Master ate. And they talked about how this woman, like, how the fuck is she overweight? Oh, and the niggas used to say, she eating good. she eating what the master be eating. She eating good. No, what the master was eating gives you arteries, heart attacks, and all this other shit. But check this out. Where's your proof, sibling? If you want to hear the proof, I got you. Let's get to the proof. All right. In the 60s, all right, at the same time, we were still numbering over 100 years, sibling. It was not hard for us to go over 100 years. But what did they do? Out of nowhere, they took lard off of the shelves. Everywhere. Now listen now. Why would a motherfucker, now listen now. If pork was so bad for you, and it gave you worms, and it does this and all this shit, we believe every fucking thing they tell us. But listen to me now. They took the shit off of the shelves, and they put up Crisco, vegetable shortening. Vegetable shortening ain't nothing but plastic. It's fucking plastic. And what happened in the black communities in the 70s and the 80s and all the way up to now? We're dying of diabetes, high blood pressure, all of that shit because your body is taking something in your bloodstream that you cannot break down. You could break down lard because lard was a healthy fat. Did you know that lard is 10 times more healthy? I would even go so far to say 1,000 times. You cannot digest vegetable shortening. But yet still, we're pumping ourselves. And then you go to the vegan movement. You go to the vegan movement where they fucking with us, right? How all of these sisters well, I ain't going to eat meat no more. Well, guess what happens? Well, what happens is you're taking in goitrogens. And the more the sisters take in the goitrogens from the vegetables, because the vegetables, remember, vegetables got oil in them, siblings, that will help them go through the freeze, which means you can't freeze vegetables. That's why you come outside, even if grass got ice on it, you can bend the grass and it won't break. You understand? So vegetables have an oil in it that don't freeze, and your body cannot break that oil down. So what it does is it causes plaque on your arteries. Many of us don't understand. Just go and guess what? Now look what happens now. Let me show you where the white boy really got you. So he went out to this major campaign of the African Americans should not be eating pork. African Americans are dying from pork at an alarming rate. Look at these worms that this African American got. Look at this look at this overweight African American. Neither one of us never. Let me tell you what, bro. The pork has a nutrient in it and a hormone in it, and it is the strongest muscle building hormone in any animal. That's why we were so fucking fit. All right? Not only did we have the capacity to block out disease and chemicals, you are what you eat. You think you're going to go 300 years eating intestines of a pig and don't think that your intestines are going to be similar? Genetically, we mutated. And the white man did that to save money, because if I can feed these niggas pig, they ain't going to get sick, because the pig don't never get sick. The pig can eat anything and not get sick. So we ate pig. So, make a long story short, when you got these sisters eating, like I was talking about, eating nothing but vegetables and they going vegan, well, they're taking in goitrogens, and goitrogens stops your body from producing iodine. So you will see the sister, she started to get a big old knot in her neck. A big-ass knot. And you have so many sisters that have to go in who are vegan, who have to get this surgery done where they remove this fucking knot. Listen to me. There is no vegan, no vegetarian that has ever outlived a meat eater. We are omnivorous people.
Yeah, being vegetarian, it messes with your thyroid, and that's why so many people are having thyroid issues.
So that slab of rib is good then?
Well, I tell you what, and it's so funny you said the rib, because the rib is the best part of barbecues came from us. That was our thing. We used to take the pork, and that's where barbecuing came from. But yes, and we used to use the rib, because the rib in your body. Did you know the rib is the only bone that can be broken and grow back completely healed? The rib. So, so it's special energy that protects the arteries and whatnot in your body. But I just wanted to say that one of the biggest things that they've lied to us on our diets is they got us to stop eating pork. And I know, like I said, do the research yourself. If you don't want to eat pork and you think it's haram, you think you're a Muslim, go ahead. You think you go by, and then you got these white boys with the commercial pork, the other white meat. Soon as you got off of it, pork. Soon as you got off of it, they started promoting, seeing little white kids shake their legs at the kitchen table. They so happy they getting pork.
You're right.
Wow.
You're right.
So why is it that they got you off of something? You hear me? Why they got you off of it, and yet they putting their own children on this shit and they promoting it for themselves? Come on.
Hey man,
they lied to you.
So basically, what you're saying is, pork bacon and turkey bacon is two different things, right?
Turkey bacon is the worst goddamn thing you could eat.
It is. It's got more sodium.
It sure is. It's horrible. And turkey it breaks down really fast. And, you can't keep that if you have a family. It's terrible.
It's absolutely terrible. The slave diet, siblings, that soul food, used to be almost fucking scientific because the collard greens will give us our fiber and it will clean our intestines. The black eyed peas will give us protein if we soak the peas. How you got to do them?
Soak any beans that you cook, you have to soak them overnight. Our grandmothers did it, and then we stopped doing it. But you're supposed to soak your beans until they split and the skin, that little outer layer, comes off, because we can't digest that outer layer. So for that to come off, it makes it more easy for the body to digest. And try to sprout them a little bit.
Mm-hmm. This is what Crohn's disease and stuff like that come from, ingesting too many beans. What it does is it goes into your upper intestines and attached to your walls of your intestines where you absorb nutrients, and it blocks off that area if you don't get these beans to ferment or for that shell to fall off. That's a natural thing. Same thing with some nuts, I think.
We have a few callers on the line. Before we get back into it, sibling, we want to go to the lines and see if any callers have anything they want to add or any questions.
Yes.
Yes, sibling. Hello?
Yes.
How can I get in contact with you?
Sibling, could you get your contact information?
Oh, okay. Yes, sibling. Contact us at thehouseofmoreau@yahoo.com. That's THEHOUSE of Moreau, MEROE @yahoo.com. That's the easy way to contact me. Or you can contact us on Facebook.
I am Omega, OHMEGA, the Genie, and Genie is spelled JHINI. And you are John Smith?
Yeah, John Smith or Vulcan, VULCAN. And matter of fact, you might have to, because it's John Smith, I was being a conspiracy brother, so I gave him a name. So if you type in Vulcan, VULCAN, and I'll pop up.
Anybody else? Okay, sibling, you some more food items. You want to talk about the food, the soul food, and the sex. So, what else you got for us?
Yes, sir. Well, just like I was talking about, when it comes to everything that they've taught us about diet, I just like to say this, siblings, that there's a system that we created called the EAT system. Now, this system is going to be in the Holy Bible of Amaruka. And I just like to say, I know some people pronounce it Amrican. That's fine. I just use the Peruvian translation from South America, and that's Amaruka. It's the same thing. We don't have to, get into petty dialects because, one is French and the other one is, South American. It doesn't matter. We know that we're on the same sheet of music. But one of the things that we share in the book is called EAT. It's a new dietary system that we've created called EAT. And EAT is efficiency, absorption, training, and timing. Let's start by efficiency. You got to start studying what kind of foods that you are eating, and you got to figure out the most efficient times to consume these foods. Say, for instance, right, and this is very important to you losing weight and you actually getting your body in the ultimate shape. One of the things that we do very wrong when it comes to our diet is we eat our biggest meal in the evening. Let me say this again. We eat our biggest meal in the evening. Siblings, when it comes to healthy diets, everything, let's say, I've been eating, now we've been doing this for about a good 4 months now, and it has completely turned our life around, where we eat dinner in the morning, and we eat breakfast before we go to bed, or for our evening meal. We eat a light meal before we go to bed, and let me tell you why. When you wake up in the morning, you have the most efficient stomach acids that you can possibly have to break down food. When you eat these little small breakfast meals at McDonald's, then you're hungry again by the time you get to lunch. You're starving. Then you eat at lunch, and then you go home. You know the reason? Then you go home, you eat this big meal, you feel bloated as hell, like, damn, I done ate all of this money, I done ate all of this food, but I'm still hungry. And it's that kind of hunger that truly comes from a lack of nutrients, because this is what happens. Did you know that eggs, because of the sulfur that's in eggs, it takes away your stomach acids? So they gave us eggs as the first meal, break fast. Break fast means to stop fasting. So break fast is when the first meal of the day, and they tell you that the first meal of the day is the most important meal. Well, if you're eating these non-nutritious meals like eggs and cereal for breakfast, and then you go off to work, and you think you're going to work a full day healthily like that? No, this is what you do, siblings. Try this. The very meal that you're going to cook it a day beforehand. I don't care if it's collard green. Look, a couple of days ago, we ate collard green, cornbread, ribs, barbecue chicken, and I'm saying we had a big meal. I think she even had mashed potatoes. Potato salad. But we ate that meal before 9 o'clock in the morning. We got up that morning because the meal was already ready, and we ate it. Try to eat your biggest, heaviest. I know it sounds backwards because they've taught you to be backwards. This is the esoteric psychology. You don't have no other time in your body. Did you know that water takes away stomach acids? So imagine now, you done went throughout the day eating shit that takes away stomach acids, and then you get to the final meal of the day, which is the biggest meal of the day, and then you don't have no stomach acids to break this down. So what does it do? Any of the bad fats and trans fats, all it does is stores up in your arteries near your heart, your lungs, and places, and this is where we get cancer and all of this stuff from, because we're eating so much food in the afternoon, and we don't have the efficient stomach acids to deal with them. You only have that's why breakfast is the most important meal of the day, so that's when you should eat the most important meal of the day, in the morning before you start your day. Imagine if you had a great big meal, like say today y'all had fish and you know cabbage or whatever the hell. You had a beautiful heavy meal. You're crazy if you're eating that in the evening. You have no stomach acids to deal with that food.
Not only do you not have the stomach acids, you're about to go to sleep, so you're not working it off. If you eat it in the morning, you have all day to work this stuff off.
And you know what? That's the part about absorption. That's the part about absorption.
So when you're talking about water, so what's up with water? You're saying this drinking water breaks down the stomach acids. How should we go on water?
Okay, your phone is breaking up, but I kind of heard you about the water. Well, the thing is, the first thing you do in the morning is when you do get up, drink just a little bit of water. A lot of us get up in the morning and we guzzle because we dehydrated. we done dehydrated throughout the night. You know why? Because your body has been working harder with that heavy-ass meal on your stomach, like the Genie was talking about, because you didn't get up or you didn't eat it at an efficient time, which means your absorption levels falls when you don't have enough training. You got to be active for these meals. You can't just get a meal, a heavy-ass meal, and do nothing with it. There's nothing that I eat. I work out according to the meal that I eat. So if I had a light meal where the Genie said, well, you know what we're going to do today, every once in a while we do something like in the daytime, or we might eat like a big salad. You know what I'm saying? We'll eat a big salad and she'll cut some deli slices and, you know, boil a couple of eggs and cut some eggs up into it and then stuff like that. We'll have one of those days where we don't eat heavy. Well, I'm not going to go out there and trying to be benching and do a full workout with not enough efficiency. Mm-hmm. There has to be a balance to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. You're doing better now, Kara. I'm going to pick up. I was going to ask siblings about the water, because everything that you're saying is wonderful. I believe what you're saying. You know, people have been told the exact opposite of a lot of what you're saying. The complete opposite.
Wow. And we get that so much, don't they? Yeah. It's like that's the easiest thing to do sometimes. This is why one of the going back to the idea of the sex issue, we're never going to heal. And let me tell you something, sisters, all of you, our sister siblings out there, you're not going to see that level of black man that you know your man have the potential to have if you do not understand the mathematics of your man is multiplied by the women in his life. So you have to open your home up to another sister. This is dynamically necessary and important, because we got too many sisters out there who need a good man. And you know, a lot of people ask us all the time, well, why y'all ain't got another sister? Well, I tell you, at one time I was extremely immature, and I tried to practice Islamic, Moorish ways of polygamy, where I would have, I had the beautiful Genie that I've been with here for 23 years. Her and I have been together for 23 years, and we have 10 beautiful children, 11 beautiful children. But here's the thing right here, siblings. There have been times where beautiful sisters have wanted to come into our lives and be a part of our relationship, but we tried to do it from a polygamous standpoint. And polygamy is when you got a brother and he got 2 wives, and each of the wives had their own room. It is torture and it is unusual punishment for a woman to hear her man be with another woman that she has not accepted truly into her heart, let alone her house and her bed. It is torture on that woman, and it ain't going to never change. Let me tell you what will change that, though, because a lot of brothers don't even care about that. But the truth is, it's called monogamy. If those women are not intimate also, and, he's just talking about the threesome. No, I'm talking about serious chemical on the brain, what it does to a man. You got women, let me tell you how psychologically fucked all of us are right now. All right? You got women doing disgusting things like letting her husband have anal sex with her. I don't even know why her husband would want to do that on his fucking birthday. But you got that going on. And then you got sisters, let me tell you, they're playing with the matriarch. You got sisters saying for his ultimate gift. Now, let me tell you something. If you know that this is this nigga's ultimate gift, to be with I'm gonna hook him up. I'm gonna go ahead and let him. He wants to be with 2 women, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this for him. No, it's for you more than it is for him. Believe it or not.
Explain why.
Well, this is what happened. Like the Genie was talking earlier. You want to take this?
Well.
Yeah, let her take it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Being raised in this Western culture, we have been programmed to do everything backwards. We have to know that we have been targeted as an entire race. Our whole race has been targeted and they've done everything they can to keep us down. They've done it with our food, they've done it with our music, the way we dress, and most importantly, our relationships. They took our culture and gave it to their women and their people and forbade us to practice any of it. So now, whenever the subject is even brought up of a man having more than one wife, we all run and head for the hills. It's like, no, we'll never do that. But that's the way we naturally lived on the planet. For the reason, the Creator made it where there are more females in every race and in every species. There's always more females. And so what are we to do with that? They told us to just ignore it. Let women run around here and never get married. There's all these women who will be single mothers forever. That's not right. We are supposed to be in monogamous relationships where there are two sisters who love each other and they want to raise their children and they want it to be a whole family. But we ain't been taught that way. So it's like, we got to get our culture back.
So as a female, why do you think that is such a hard pill for sisters to swallow?
It's part of the program. We've been taught this for so long that we think it's real now, and it's not. It's not real for a woman to say, I'm never going to share my man. Because not only is she not thinking about herself, she's not thinking about her man, she's not thinking about her sister, she's not thinking about the whole family unit. When we lived in Georgia, I met this sister who happened to be raised by two mothers. And I was very curious. I had to ask her, what was it like? And she said it was the most incredible thing that she could ever explain to someone. Because, women, we go through our moods sometimes. We have our time of the month. And she said, when she couldn't talk to her mother because her mother, may not have been feeling well, she had another mother to go to. And if she couldn't talk to her mother because she felt embarrassed of something that she might want to explain to her mother, she could talk to her other mother, and then they could all sit down together and have this conversation.
So do you think if that was an acceptable part of our culture, do you think that would wipe out some of the problems that you're seeing now?
It would wipe out a lot of problems. Men would not be cheating because they don't have a reason to cheat. They have more than one wife to go to. I will say I am looking for my sister. I've been looking for her for years, and I cannot wait to find her. Our children are looking.
So how does that assist you?
Like I said earlier when I was speaking about the gap that's between the male and the female, it grows wider because we are acting like our men. We don't have enough female energy around us. And so it is very important that there is another woman in I would say in every household. Yeah,
that I can see that.
Look, I'm laughing. I'm laughing. I have to grow into this. I need to hear more about it. But it sounds very interesting. I bet you one thing: more marriages might stay together. There might be more harmony. It seems like it really would. It makes sense to me. Now I haven't tried this, but it makes sense.
Well, if you look at how many monogamous countries there are, and then you look at even though they practice polygamy, the divorce rate is not like it is in monogamous countries.
Yeah, that's right. There's more divorce and homosexuality in monogamous countries. And one of the things that also happens, and see, this is another thing that you can see from the reverse esoteric standpoint, that what is one of the first things the average sister do after she's been abused, beaten, or hurt by a male? What she does is she goes and get into an intimate relationship with a female and says, I'm done with men. 90% of the lesbians tell you that they've experienced some kind of trauma from a man. Now, what happens is she gets this ping-pong ball effect where her soul is divided. One minute she's saying go to the woman, next minute she's going to the man, when in actuality that there cannot ever be a healthy relationship if the woman don't have a matriarchal relationship where there's another sister for her to communicate with. There's another sister there for her that is like beyond, beyond sister love. I'm talking about, it's even inappropriate to call it sister love. Yeah. I'm saying they're actually in a relationship together. We all share a bed together. Therefore, there is no sexual exploits that goes through this woman's mind. Therefore, let's say one sister's menstrual is on or something like that, and they having an issue where they want to be alone or something like that. It's not going to be as traumatizing at all whatsoever if she knows that, hey, I'm in there all the time. It's no biggie. And the jealousy. This is one of the biggest problems with polygamy right now. A lot of times women, like I said, they think to themselves, oh, he just want to have his cake and eat it too. I want to do it. Let me tell you something. Any woman that says, well, why what's good for the goose is good for the gander, whenever you hear that, you're hearing an infection, because no true woman would ever want to be with more than one man at a time. That's an infection. That's just like you hear these men talk about, just because he had sex with a dude one time, he not gay. Come on. Yeah, and I'm talking about grown-ass men are talking about they're bisexual. And let me tell you the worst thing for our community right now. The worst thing for our community right now is the bisexual down-low male. He is the worst because he is the one that's spreading the diseases. He's the one. Now, imagine the trauma. I was talking with a sister when I was in Georgia, and I asked her, why did you go into stripping? What happened to you? And she was a badass stripper that only dated women, though. She only dated women, period, right? So what happened to you? She said she came home, before she was a stripper, came home from work, and she caught her husband in bed with a man. Now, when she caught her husband in bed with a man, she was so shocked and so ashamed and so embarrassed. You know what the nigga told her to do? He said, get in the bed, and they both fucked her. And she said that destroyed her. That's what our women are going through. So first of all, we need to understand that these niggas that are out there being bisexual, there's no such thing. You're gay, man. I personally think only women have the natural thing to be what is known as bisexual, because women, I personally think, are by nature. In other words, when you was like we was talking before, you see little girls, even at a young age, holding hands. They holding hands, and they going somewhere. Or you see women in the colleges that used to, the young ladies, they take a shower together, and they walking around each other naked. They don't have no problem with that. Oh, girl, they hugging each other, and they laughing, they crying on each other's shoulders. Men don't do that shit. Men has never done that shit. But a woman can do that to a man or a woman.
Mm-hmm. I got a question real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I got to get this in from once when you were giving us a consult and talking to us. Remember when you were talking about the men who still had the foreskin versus the those who had been circumcised, and we talk about the kind of, in my mind, as I wrap my head around the chakra and the energy that's released, because when you be with other people, in addition to what you're doing, educate us on, you're still bringing energy into your house.
That's
and
right.
People don't think about that, but you go out, you cheat, you come back to your wife, maybe you have a side chick, an extra chick, 2 more pieces on the side, I don't know, and you're bringing all of this energy into your house, and maybe a wife, because women they're not quite on the lateral with men, but maybe she has one guy. So you got maybe 6 extra types of energy in your house. Yeah. So give it to us about the foreskin and the circumcision, and then talk about all this energy, because we don't know that is what's in the house too, invisible, unbeknownst to us.
Oh yes. Here's something that's real interesting and kind of scary about that thing that's going on with African American women right now on an alarming rate. They giving Tommy Sotomayor so much work. This nigga don't. Tommy Sotomayor be doing videos at this rate fucking for another at least 6 years. I mean, nonstop videos of African American females killing somebody, especially their children. Now listen to this. Speaking of the foreskin and the uncircumcised penis versus the circumcised penis, the uncircumcised penis has a gland and a chemical in it that when it enters a female's vagina, it creates a bond with her. The circumcised penis no longer have those chemicals or ability to produce bonding through sexual intercourse. The only way you bond through sexual intercourse is he's got to be good in bed, and he's got to really knock her socks off, so to speak. But he can be sorry in bed. He can be a piece of shit in bed. But if he got that uncircumcised penis and he's putting his wet chemicals inside of that woman's womb, the bond is a lot more serious to the point that it drives women mad. Now listen to this. So what happens, like the sisters say, when there's this brother or there's this sister who's cheating on another brother, all right? And you've seen this over and over again. Or let's say that she ain't cheating, she done broke up with this nigga, and then you got another nigga that's uncircumcised, or because even with the idea of not being circumcised, he can still have a great influence on her if he's dropping his semen in her. And then this is what happens. So every time that boy goes over to her house, he looks at her kids and he says, I can't stand that nigga. You know, he knows who got her pregnant. And let's say he can't stand the dude that got her pregnant. Can't stand the dude. I can't stand your dad. I can't stand your dad. And these niggas are secretly hating these kids. I wish these little motherfuckers go to bed. You hear this? Yeah, I wish these little motherfuckers go to bed so I can get some pussy. Like, fuck, man, why don't you put these little bad motherfuckers, you know, that's where a nigga be talking. So this is what happened. Now, he done built up all that hate in him for that child not taking their ass to bed. And, you know, she's not a good mother, so most of the time the kid is running around slapping niggas in the face. And the baby really should be in bed, so it's aggravating. But here's the catch. Now he finally gets a chance to sleep with the mother. The hatred of that child is going to go in her womb in that man's seed. Because he just sat that whole time wishing, one, that child either didn't exist or it just fucking lay down and sleep, which is another term of die. So this mother, eventually, she started looking at her babies and she don't understand. African-American females are not understanding what's going on. Why am I hating my baby? Why am I wanting to kill this child? Because somebody that hate that child is dumping semen in your womb. And you genetically become what this man is. I'm telling you, think of the scenarios of somebody wanting your fucking kid to go to bed because he ain't got no goddamn respect for you. He just wants the pussy. Think about how often that happens. Now, if this nigga is uncircumcised and he got that chemical for your ass, then a woman really goes crazy because now he's entered your DNA. He didn't enter your DNA on a whole nother level. Now, the thing about the circumcised penis is one of the reasons why circumcision was started, it wasn't no religious practice. It was to prevent us from getting diseases, because that's another thing. People with uncircumcised penis get heavier infections. When somebody with a circumcised, they may get a drip with gonorrhea. But when somebody is uncircumcised get gonorrhea, they get gon-a-fucking-rhea. Their shit is pouring like rainforests, and they got soles and blisters and all kinds of shit that they can get because they got open flesh. All right, which means that these dudes that are also circumcised that are sleeping with women, they spread herpes on a whole nother fucking level. They're spreading herpes, they're spreading gonorrhea, they're spreading. I'm not saying all of our circumcised brothers are the ones that's doing all of the disease spreading. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying a large portion of it is coming from that because now they're in the ghettos and they're teaching not to. So a lot of hood individuals, that hood mentality that's up there fucking them strippers, and we're doing so many sexual immoral things that we don't understand. Like for a woman to allow this man that you know want your kid to fucking fall down and die. For him, you know, to let him put semen in you and to wonder later on why you hating your children. I hope that explains it, you know, like to some degree, nonetheless.
It did. That's a really wow, you know, that's ooh.
Yeah, so this is what happens now. Let me tell you once again, when a woman get infected, what happens is she immediately seeks the energy of a female to balance out, because just like the Genie said earlier, what happens is, sisters, you have got to go these 28 days not listening to a man on the radio, not listening to the music, not listening to the programs. Cut your cable off. You don't need cable at all. You know what I'm saying? Cut all of this shit. Give yourself 28 days where you're not absorbing masculine energy. It's very important.
Yes, I think, like when we're talking about this reverse esoteric psychology, that there's certain things, okay, we keep saying we need to stop this, we need to stop that, but I think the thing that we really need to do is we need to create our own culture. We've been fed a culture, whether you call it the hip-hop culture, the R&B culture, whatever. We've been fed a culture that is very destructive. We need to create our own culture that promotes our health, promotes marriage, promotes raising our children right. Everything we've been given is anti-productive.
Everything.
So it's time for us to come together and create our own culture.
I think a better thing to say is that what we have is like death. It doesn't promote life. Emil, you had a question?
Yes, I do. I've heard. I think the other gentleman. Is that Buck or are you Buck?
Yeah, I'm Buck.
Because I'm new. I'm new to this. But
okay.
I heard him mention on another show, and then today I heard him mention about the killing of the babies, and it just brought a recall to me about the airport in Colorado. And I don't know if you all are aware of that. They have paintings of babies getting killed and stabbed and everything.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, at Denver International Airport. And this is one of the things what I think he talks about the reverse esoteric is there's a lot of things that's going on. I mean, that's right in front of our face, but we don't know it because we don't understand the symbols.
Exactly.
So could you talk, going back to the reverse, did you have a question, ma'am?
No, that was just it. You know, I wanted to know if you were familiar with that because it seemed like that's the target, you know, the youth and children, babies.
Yes, it is. I mean, and that's what we see happening right now. I wanted to share a letter that I got tonight from a young man in Chicago. And this guy sent me a letter today, and he sent a picture. One, he's talking about he wanted to kill sisters.
Whoa.
I mean, I was like, are you serious? And he was serious. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Okay.
Hi, this is Lovely Day. I read that letter earlier. Oh, hi, everybody.
Hey, Lovely. Hey.
Okay. I read that letter earlier today, and I was thinking because he made males look as victims, as though, you know, the police will come into his community and, you know, he's hearing the screaming of males, and how he disliked the sisters, saying that, you know, they're having babies or they're about to have babies. So I'm like, damn, are we that fucked up? That this guy is looking at being policed by people from different lands as natural, or I mean, you know, he had more sympathy for those guys that's being arrested and looking at the females because they're doing their natural duty, having babies. And that's what I don't understand. That's what I have to get a lot of mothers, especially some of my friends who get mad at their daughters for having children. Okay, what I make the comparison. Okay, you want them to go into a system or to go into an institution that's going to teach them how to commit suicide slowly while yourself and that baby, why not?
Well, I can tell you why not. It's because here's one issue. We understand that we have a certain level of ignorance that we're dealing with in our communities. But let me tell you, the strongest level of ignorance is we don't understand the value of a solid family structure, which means we have to understand that this sister, before she goes out there and have a baby, we can understand that our children, our babies are having babies out of stupidity. And we understand that they are stupid for doing that, and we understand that the parents are stupid for not teaching them better, but we can't give them a pass on it. I ain't saying go out there and shoot them, but I can say by all means that we need to understand that before you have a child, you need to have a healthy family structure, which means a man should not be out there trying to get a girl pregnant with no intentions on being with her, because that's another thing that's going on out there. These young niggas talking about I don't use condoms. There's a rap song talking about how you don't use condoms. You put it in a bus center. I bus center. Some over and over again they talk about how I bus center. So you got brothers out there who are purposely, and I call them brothers loosely. You got niggas. You got clones. You got no good individuals out there who could be under a program. They could be our people, but psychologically fucked up. But they're out there trying to get these young girls pregnant. And when they get these young girls pregnant, some of them are trying to get them the day after pill. Some of them are trying to get them on the goddamn healthcare system and all kinds of shit so they can get insurance, move in a house, get her on welfare. And I've heard of many pimps. Let me tell you how psychologically nasty our women are being abused. And here's another thing about the body. Interestingly enough, there's a part of your body called the rectum. Have you ever heard about these young white boys sticking alcohol? Sister, I'm talking about they're sticking alcohol up their behind to get drunk quicker. You can put, like, supposedly half or 1/4 of a glass of alcohol up his ass, and he'll get drunk as fuck because the rectum is designed to absorb. Well, listen to what a pimp told me, how he break a woman. When I was working at the strip club, working the doors at the strip club. He said, if you want to get a woman to completely submit to you, you ass fuck her and you nut in her ass. She will absorb everything that you are, and she will become what you want her to become. So a lot of these young women out here are literally getting psychologically raped and then physically raped, and it's because, and I'm not saying you in general, sister, but I'm saying enough of us don't take it serious enough to teach these young children that it's hell wrong for her to be out there having a baby without a good man that's to talk to the father and the mother. That's the worst thing that we can do.
I understand that, but I'm saying that this guy is looking at life. We could talk about this all day. I'm talking about bottom line, there's life. He's looking at life. These women with the ability to give life he's looking at them through hatred.
You're talking about one dude, though. You can't allow this one idiot. And see, you know what? This is the way I would look at this esoterically, reverse esoterically. That little crazy nigga is a wake-up call. Because when you live wrong for so long, shit like this start to happen. You can't. He's a product. He's a product of. I bet you he didn't have a motherfucking father in his household. And see, you can't raise kids properly, and you don't think there's been kids. He's one of a million. Look, there's kids killing their parents every day. Every day, I'll tell you, you fucking look at Sotomayor's goddamn, he got a list of over 1,000 shows of black women killing children, mothers, fathers in their goddamn sleep, and then young niggas doing the same shit. And most of this shit come from single family households.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Nah. Hell nah. That ain't it. This shit been going. This just ain't happening with these kids now. This ain't the first time this is happening. This shit's been going on for a long time. Brothers been killing each other for a long time. Hell, the Black Panthers was killing each other out. So I think
No, we're talking about family households. We ain't talking about.
I'm talking.
Okay,
How many stories have you heard? Where
no, I'm talking about specific stories that are around crazy shit. I ain't talking about no little time, no small time. You're talking about a wide mind fuckery. See, when you talking about gang violence, that's a big time mind fuckery. I'm talking about this isolated shit where bitches are cutting babies out of stomachs. Women are killing their mothers. Young boys are killing their mamas and their daddies. We're reaching a new level of this shit.
Okay.
We used to look. I'm gonna tell you, when I was a little boy, crackhead, when crack first came out, crackheads had fucking respect for their mamas and daddies, and then all of a sudden they started showing it on TV with Samuel L. Jackson, crackheads stealing from their mama, and 100 Monkey, that shit went rampant. Well, I was like, damn, I remember when I was a little boy, crackheads didn't steal from their motherfucking mama. But that's just the experience that I had. So I'm saying, when it comes to these little girls, and you're telling, that young brother is stupid as fuck, don't get me wrong, but he is a product, more than likely, of what we're trying to condone with these little girls getting pregnant. The little girls getting pregnant. Why should we cannot stand up for that. We got to stop that. That's the biggest part of our problem right now as a people. We don't have no control over our children. White people got our children. Our children doing whatever the fuck they want to do.
Hello? Sia.
Yeah, dude, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Why do the females more than likely are with the guys who got the pants hanging off their ass? Why they don't date, the guy who got something in his head?
Well, they with these guys because they've been programmed. You got to realize right now, what the average African-American female have been taught is masculinity is actually femininity. And what they taught is femininity it's all fucking reversed right now. So if she see a nigga with diamond earrings on bigger than her motherfucking ears, what she's really seeing is she's seeing something that she like about him, but psychologically she don't know. They call this mirror effect, what is it? Psychology. Mirror effect psychology. Check it out. When you can dress or act sort of like the person that you want to impress, and you'll have a better time getting into their subconscious mind. So a lot of these dudes that wear these skinny jeans or these bright colored clothing, and they look like they got money, they got on more jewelry, and like I said, the first sign of a nigga going in the wrong direction if he got over 10 pair of shoes. If a nigga got 40 pair of shoes, that's some girl shit. Look in the nigga closet. That's what you look for in the closet.
Emily had a question.
Yeah. Go ahead, Emily.
Emily?
Hello?
Okay. All right. Well, are there anybody else who had a question? All right, brother, can you go ahead and close us out? Give us some final last words. We're coming up on 2 hours now. Could you give us some last words?
No problem. First of all, I want to close out with two things. One thing I want to close out with is beware of what is called agape. And this is very important, siblings. Agape is a Greek term that was coined because white men had such a great love. He had such a great love for young boys, they wanted to name it something other than love, and that was what they call agape. Agape is unrestricted love. So you'll hear a lot of these New Age conscious community brothers and sisters and Moors and all these people talking about agape love. Agape love is homosexuality and unrestricted love, and it's an infection that the planet puts on an individual who it no longer wants to reproduce. You got to realize, you got some of these people that are being born gay. When they come out, they already got agape sickness on them where they're producing chemicals in their brain to fuck them up. Now, I'm not saying that it can't be, excuse me, I'm not saying that it can't be fixed. You know what I'm saying? With hormonal programming and hormonal training and hormonal manipulation, a male can be brought back to his true nature. A female can be brought back to her true nature if she's primordial. But most of these individuals are being taken by what is called agape. Be careful about agape. And what I wanted to say lastly is this is what we got to start doing when the Genie was talking about us coming together. We need to start coming together collectively by the areas that we exist in. And in those areas, we come together and we all say, you know, hey, well, I live in Birmingham, Alabama. Everybody that lives in Birmingham, Alabama, need to find a specific doctor to go to. And sisters, by the way, do not go to any male doctors. One of the worst things that you can do as a sister is have a male gynecologist, a man looking at your womb, or OBGYN. They got that real strong in Georgia where there's a lot of men down there, and they pretty much molesting these sisters. And then these sisters are going back home after this man that pretty much finger-fucked her because he's a sicko. He a finger-fuck a pregnant woman. If you've ever been molested by a man that claims to be a doctor, this is why. We got to change our thought process first on how our women are dealt and how we deal with our woman, because she is a key part of changing ourselves. If we cannot change her, like I said, if you can't treat the woman like a genie or a goddess, you can't become the jinn or the god. You're just going to be left out.
Yeah, I think definitely getting together and communicating on who good doctors are, what good schools. Like if you're sending your children to schools, you need to know in the community which schools are teaching your children the right way. We need to come together and we need to have these discussions so that everybody's kind of on the same sheet of music and we're all, like I said, creating our own culture. We need to start with that.
Yeah, creating our own culture is key. How we get married, what are the structures of our relationship, how do we rear our children? Do we have some mothers, because you got to realize if you have these multiple household families, now my Genie is incredible. She homeschooled all of my children. Now we put 2 daughters through college. Now how did we do that? It's because they were so smart. Homeschool children, so smart. By the time it got time for them to take their test for their college, my daughter is making grades that are almost similar to her being a damn teacher. They're just mastering it. So when you got, like the Genie said, this setup where, hey, maybe you got a homeschool centers, because you can do homeschooling online now, and all you need is a couple of laptops. We get communically together, and it don't take money to do this. They send you all of the laptops. You can do all of the homeschooling. Your child do not have to go to school to receive that doctrine. In the end, as men, we're not going to change until we get our children out of the system and our women out of the system. If you're a brother and you're working and where your wife is working and you're not working and you stand, that's the wrong scenario. The most important thing you got to do is get your wife out of that work thing. You know, a lot of women, well, I don't want to be sitting at home and be a housewife and blah, blah, blah. But why can't you go home and build your business? You've always wanted to do that. You got more black women taking business classes than actually practicing business. And that's a shame because, you know, our sisters are some of the most intelligent women on the planet. So they need the resources and the money and the dedication. Well, we as men should be the ones out working. So if you can change these little dynamics about you sending your woman out there working and she's around white men like the Genie talk about, she's shaking hands with brothers that want to fuck her, and she's getting sexual energy thrown at her all day because she's a beautiful woman, and then you expect to come home and you're wondering, what's wrong with you? You know, this is why we're being infected. But did you want to say anything else, Genie?
I think we covered it.
Okay. Well, I hope that solves it, sibling. The release of the book, The Holy Bible of Amaruka, is going to be released on September the 11th. It'll be ready and available. All of the things that we speak with, and then a lot of it, siblings, we have to chop through it a little bit because of the time, but the book is very thorough. It is a pictogram book because this is how we communicated. We communicated with more pictures, and believe me, out of 500-page book, I use color illustrations, and Genie and I have put in there over 300 pictures with illustrations and talking about what the subject is about because we need those visuals. But September 11th, the Holy Bible of Amaruka, your book, African American, it's a book about everything, where all the races come from, who actually were the Moors, who was the first black man, who was actually the first nigga, and who was the negus. and all of that. We get into all of that ancient history and that ancient esoteric knowledge and give you up-to-date translations that can help you deal with stuff that you're dealing with, including health secrets and all kinds of stuff.
Can we have, this is Nisa, can we have that information about your page and, your contact information one more time for us, siblings?
Okay, thank you. It's The House of Meroe, MEROE @yahoo.com, or contact the Genie.
Omega, the Genie. Omega is spelled OHMEGATHEJHINI on Facebook.
Okay, and John Smith Vulcan, John Smith or Vulcan, and so let me see what else. Is there any others? No, I think that's it.
Okay, well, we really appreciate you joining us tonight, man, and thank you for the information you shared with us tonight. Something to think about. So a few months ago we had a show on polygamy, and now we have one on, what is it?
Reverse. What's that?
The what you were talking about, the trigonometry.
Trinogamy. Trinogamy is where intimacy is shared between all three. You take all of the sexual taboo out of it, because that woman, once again, when you get into science and the harmony about how women's menstrual cycles match up at the same time, and back in the days when a woman was infertile, back in the days they used to get her to drink the menstrual blood of a woman that's had many children to become fertile again. So these are secrets that are so taboo and so disgusting and so terrible. And
I forgot to mention, it's like we were talking about women absorbing male energy. I must say that I only accept friend requests from females. I have no male friends on Facebook.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, so I hope thank you for the opportunity to share, sibling, and I hope soon you can have us back and give us an opportunity to share more.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight, and I want to thank the listeners for joining us again and coming and listening to us and what we have to offer. We're just trying to give some different modes of thought, so we can find our way up out of this jam that we find ourselves in as a people. I think one of the things that we're locked into this psychological paradigm that we're in is wearing us out, and I know everybody sees it. So we're just trying to open up the communications. Are there other ways that can help us in this trying to find justice in this country? So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We'll be on next Tuesday with some health news. We got a brother coming in next Tuesday. He's going to talk about nutrient retention. And I think that'll be real great for us. So join us next Tuesday, and we're going to talk about the benefits of nutrient retention. So I hope everybody have a good weekend. It's still summertime. Have a nice time, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.